Values of teamwork. We are a team and we work together with cooperative attitudes toward our company goals. Customer satisfaction. We're a service company. Our business customers provide all our opportunities, so we show our sincere appreciation in every encounter with them and every step of our service to them. Respect. As an employee of Pinson Valley Heat Treating, I respect myself. I respect all those I deal with every day, and I respect our company. I show my respect in every decision I make and every action I take. Stewardship. We value and take care of everything we have been blessed with. Each minute of the day, the facility and tools we earn our living with, each person on our team, and every dollar we've worked hard to earn. Excellence. We exhibit excellence in everything we do. We will never be satisfied and will strive for continuous improvement through execution of our quality program and building up of our team. Our family business purpose statement comes from a verse in the Bible that I believe embodied what our founders, my grandparents, believed in. And that verse, as Rod referred to, is Matthew 6:33. I'm going to read a little more of that than just that to give a little context. Jesus Christ is speaking. He says, "Do not be anxious then, saying, 'What shall we eat? What shall we drink? With what shall we clothe ourselves?' For all these things the Gentiles eagerly seek. For your heavenly Father knows that you need these things. But seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Therefore do not be anxious for tomorrow will take care of itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." I try to remember that every day when I go to work. If we just do the next right thing, that God will take care of us, and He has, and He's shown Himself to be faithful in that. These verses say to me that there are a lot of things that we have cause to be anxious about. He's not saying that those aren't things to worry about. Food, drink, clothes, home, car, kids, the list is endless. Jesus says our Heavenly Father knows we need these things, so seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things you need, God will add unto you. So how do we seek God's kingdom and God's righteousness? What does heat treating have to do with God's kingdom? Well, we've come through 40 years since Pinson Valley was one little metal building and one stress relief furnace. It was built a little at a time. There have been good months and years, and there have been poor months and years. We've added more ways to serve more customers with more, hotter, bigger furnaces, oil quench, aluminum heat treating, shot blast, vacuum heat treating. Each move took a lot of thought and prayer, and then at some point a big leap of faith. But faith in what? Faith in who? We're here today at Vulcan Park. Vulcan, the statue, is the largest iron statue in the world. Vulcan was worshipped in the ancient world as the god of people who made their living working with metal. They put their faith in this god, and today we think they were primitive or uneducated to bow down and worship a statue of Vulcan. However, even today, we have to be careful of what we put our faith in. Do I put my faith in this company that's been here now for 40 years? That's pretty stable. It's been here a long time. I could have faith that it will always be here. Do I put faith in the past? As good as I might remember it, as good and bad, there's good and bad in the past, just as there is today. And even if it was all good, yesterday is gone, today is all we have. I can have faith that I live in the greatest country in the world with a great economy. But we've all seen recently that great economies are up and down. The economy is not something stable that I can believe in. Even countries are going bankrupt. All kinds of things we put our faith in or worship. So we come to the reason that I thought it was important that we get together tonight. We need to know the past so we can know how we got here. We need to learn from our successes and our failures and be careful not to live in the past. I appreciate the opportunity and the legacy that my grandparents left me and left all of us. I have learned from them and obviously have a lot to live up to. I want to honor their legacy and live up to their example every day. But they would tell you that this isn't their story either. They were just normal people who allowed themselves to be used to seek God's kingdom. The story of Pinson Valley Heat Treating is God's story. I've heard Granddad say that God was his partner at Pinson Valley Heat Treating Company, but from what I've seen, I would have to disagree slightly. I don't believe that God was his partner. I believe that Jesus Christ was his Lord, and that he sought God's kingdom and his righteousness every day, and that's what made him who he was. Pinson Valley Heat Treating's story is the story of God's hand causing all things to work together for his good. God prepared my granddad on the farm as a young boy and in the steel mills as a young man, teaching him everything he would know to start a company, how to work hard and common sense, and preparing him, and even how to grow a garden, knowing that years and years later, when his pension was cut off and powers were trying to literally starve him out of business, God knew he needed to know how to grow food and prepared him as a young man. And God guided Granddad to find Mr. Hill and moved in Mr. Hill's heart to help my granddad start the company by charging him just $1 a month. God even used Mr. Hill's pigs for years and years on that property to fertilize that land that produced vegetables like you could never fertilize it to do. God thinks ahead. And that garden produced so much food that not only did it feed them, but countless others. And God brought a lot of great people to this company. Many have gone on to other places, and some have been here for 20 or 30 years. Some of y'all are new. And so I thought it was important to come here tonight at 40 years, because this is something we don't need to forget. We need to have this in our consciousness as a company. I've gotten some of my gratification in my job from seeing things that y'all do every day. And I just thought of a few that y'all do at work. Working over at the last minute when customers call. Unloading one more truck before you take your lunch so that somebody can get on the road. Smiling and welcoming a truck driver. Being on the anonymous second and third shifts, working the spoon shift, working weekends, answering phone for the 100th time and smiling and laughing and acting like it was the first call of the day. But some of the things that I'm even more proud of are the things that you do away from the job. Raising beautiful families, sending them to college, running for political office, starting a church, fighting in Iraq and Afghanistan, playing in the church orchestra, coaching children's sports teams, raising grandchildren, taking care of sick parents, adopting an unwanted little girl and changing her life for the better, cooking breakfast for a whole church on Sunday mornings, helping another employee who's having a hard time, going back and finishing college. Literally hundreds of positive steps towards God's kingdom and his righteousness that y'all make out there every day. And that's who we are. Y'all are all heroes. And looking at the video, I'm convinced that Pinson Valley Heat Treating has been here for 40 years, grown and thrived, not so much because of what we do, and we do some great things, but because of who we are. Because of what we believe. And for my grandparents and now for me, I am who I am, and I believe what I believe because Jesus Christ is the Lord of my life. Because of that, like my granddad and grandmom, I want to lead a company that is different, a company that cares, a company whose people are a team, serving customers by showing respect for everyone, taking care of all the things we've been blessed with, and striving for excellence because we want to please our customers, our fellow workers, and our Creator. To God be the glory. Because that is who I want us to be. That is my dream. That is the reality I want us to work toward every day, that we would live out our values. It's Pinson Valley Heat Treating. So thank you all tonight for being here.